Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RK Football Podcast. And this week's episode, we are doing our team of the season from the Premier League season of 2025-26. We've been waiting for this for such a long time, and now seems like the perfect time to do it. And of course, you have the three amigos to get you through it, don't you worry. And our opinions are right, so you have to go by them. What's that face for, Stu?
I don't know. It's always a dangerous game you play when you say that my opinion is absolutely dangerous.
I wonder what egregious opinion Matt will have this episode that's gonna blow up as a YouTube short or on TikTok or something like that.
I don't think. Well, I mean,
no, I think
we might choose the right player, but
I never write you off, mate.
Could be the thing.
Yeah, I never write you off.
Right. It's how our podcast works, isn't it? There's always like the one person that's whoever the logical one, but there's always the one that has like the crazy opinion. And unfortunately, Matt, that's just your job. So don't let it down.
Okay, cool. Well, as usual, we'll start off with the position that only crazy people seem to want to play on the pitch, and that is the goalkeeper. Because you have to be a bit crazy to be in goal. But I think this season has been one of the better seasons in terms of being a goalkeeper. I think it's been quite interesting. You've seen some good performances between the sticks. But I think for goalkeepers, I picked out that were like my top choices. Obviously, I can only choose one, I understand. But I had David Raya, Donnarumma, Dean Henderson, and Pickford as my they're my four that I was like, yeah.
What about now?
Lamens is not in there. I am not. I mean, Lamens.
No. I was going to say Robin Roufs as well could be a good shout.
Oh, yeah.
For Sunderland.
True.
Well,
I think
should we all just say?
Season,
sorry, go on. Yeah.
First half of the season, I would agree, but I think this half of the season he's not been as consistent. I would say.
Well, and also Sunderland in general have had like kind of a bit of a dip as well, so it's like
true enough.
So who did we go with then?
I did have Roufs at first, and then I thought, oh no, it's clearly Raya. It has to be Raya. 16 clean sheets this season is an insane return,
and the saves he's made,
some of the saves he's made in Europe as well, particularly. But obviously, this is just Premier League. But he's been one of Arsenal's best players this season, so I think it had to be him.
I think the indicator for me that it has to be Raya as well is because those games where they got knocked out of the League Cup and then they got knocked out of the FA Cup, and then they come back to Premier League and Raya played in that game. The difference that he makes in that goal, it is the difference between it from what we're looking at, a trophy, and finishing without silverware. He is the difference.
Yeah, he's world class. He's one of the best keepers on the planet. Like, he's just fabulous. And I think it brings back. Remember a few more than a couple of years ago now, but when Ramsdale was the man between the sticks, and then Arteta brought Raya in, and then we were saying, well, what's going to happen here? You can't have two number ones, obviously, and then the decision obviously was to push Ramsdale out. And I think at the time people weren't too sure because Raya was having a few, but I think that the decision now is fully justified now. I mean, I think that was a really fabulous move by Arteta and his team or whatever. But I mean, because he's fabulous.
Go on.
I'm the same. Obviously, I think it was I think we got a bit of stick last year when we all chose. Was it Arsenal had the most clean sheets, but we decided to go for. Some of us went for a goalkeeper that didn't go for the Arsenal's keeper, but there's no doubt. I mean, obviously, I said some of the saves he's made this season, obviously that's kept them in games that he had no right to be in at times. But yes, as David said, like 16 clean sheets. I mean, that's ridiculous return. And if Arsenal are going to go on to win the league, it's probably because of his saves and his ability to keep them in games. But I think it was one of those decisions that, as much as all those goalkeepers you listed off have been really good, I thought it would be a bold choice to not put him as the number one keeper, because obviously he's been so good for Arsenal this season. But I mean, some of the names on there have been that have had good seasons, but I think his is more obvious how important he is.
The impact, the difference. He is like I just said, he is the difference. I think Donnarumma deserves a fair shout. I really do. I think
I was going to say
Henderson was good at points. Pickford has been consistent and produced some phenomenal saves as well, but he's just not got the defence in front of him to justify being up there as well. But Raya, with Donnarumma, is it fair to say because he's so big, it
He
doesn't
has an
look as
advantage.
amazing what he does? Does that make sense? It doesn't look.
I
As
know what you
amazing.
mean, that because he does have the obvious height advantage. Raya's
Yeah.
no, I mean, he's no short arse. I mean, he's quite tall.
He's not
But
the big.
Donnarumma obviously has always had that.
Yeah.
He's a lanky bloke, isn't he? So he
yeah.
obviously has that advantage. But he's a fabulous shot stopper. But I agree, he could be. I think if City can win the league, and I think with a lot of these picks in our team, there will be that caveat of, well, if this team win the league or if this team do whatever, by the end of the season, you could argue this player instead of that player. So obviously there's going to be that.
Yeah.
But I think if City do win the league, you could argue Donnarumma, but I think no, Raya has been certainly the more impactful. Of the two.
Well, the argument that you could always put is the argument of sitting there going, if you took Donnarumma out of that Mr. City side, and would they be less? Would they be worse off?
Probably.
But if you took Raya from Arsenal, they would be. I agree. So that's why I think that's why I think he would go over Donnarumma. But yeah, he's I mean, obviously, the sad reality of Donnarumma, you could put him as best keeper in the team of the season, but after he did that absolute howler in that was at Arsenal Man City. I mean, it's only one mistake.
Yeah, that don't help. That don't help. Yeah.
Although Raya nearly had a howler 2 minutes into that game as well. I don't know if you remember that. So he nearly could have done just as anyway. But yeah, that was a howler from Donnarumma as well.
But we are in agreement. It is Raya then.
Yeah, it has to be.
He is our starting keeper. This is a good start.
That's brilliant. That's great. That's a fabulous start.
Marvelous.
Excellent.
Let's not bother with the rest because obviously.
Let's quit while we're ahead. Yeah.
It's going to only go downhill from here, isn't it? So they're going to go downhill.
Do you know what? In defence, I actually think we're going to be very similar. I do.
Yeah, I think so too.
We're going to start off at right back.
Who do I have at right back again?
So. Right back, the choices that I saw, like when I looked at the statistics and everything, Reece James, Jurrien Timber, is it Muniz, the Crystal Palace fullback, and Matty Cash. They were the ones with the top, like they looked most promising. I think Reece James, if he didn't have some of the injuries he had, I would have said him. But I've gone with Timber. I think
so have I.
Attacking is unbelievable this season. I
was kind of flip-flopping between him and Matty Cash because, to be honest, I think for how well Villa have done this season, I wanted to get a couple of their players in. But no, I think Timber's the right shout for right back for sure. Yeah, he's been great.
Was you in the
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, obviously, mine was between that and Muniz, I think it was, but I decided, well, I think it's been quite clear how Arsenal were less. We're talking about players. Their system works less effectively when he's not in the team. And obviously that injury has really missed him. So it proves how important he is for the team really. And I mean, obviously it's going to be a situation. I'm probably going to guess it. It's basically going to be the defences line is either going to be between Arsenal and City because obviously, basically it's like
pretty much
top clean sheet, or was it? They're both top of the clean sheets. So I think it's pretty clear what two teams were going for. But yeah, it was me and Muniz because I think Muniz has been. You could sit there and say he had a better season last season, but he's still been quite. But I think that injury he had that took him out for like a month or two was really, I think, affected him maybe getting in the team. But yeah, I think Timber is the best. Is basically it's like without him, another example of. Arsenal system doesn't work as well. So, definitely, I think he's definitely the right pick.
The thing is that each of us we've gone for a different second player, but each of them are being compared to the same player we've actually gone for.
Isn't that funny? Hey, we're 2 for 2 so far. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Good. We'll go on to left back and then we'll move on to centre back after that. So left back, the ones that I found, you got O'Reilly, Calafiori, Hincapié, Cucurella, Maatsen, and then Michael Kayode from Sunderland.
Sunderland, yeah.
Now, I actually think Michael Kayode has been very good this season. Like one of the best in the league, but I think he's more popular because of his throwing specialist as well. So I don't know if that's maybe clouding my judgment a little bit. I think Hincapié has been fantastic deputy to Calafiori. Like I mean, when Calafiori got the injuries, I thought that's where they're going to fall short. But he's stepped up and been phenomenal.
Calafiori keeps cropping up on every time I went on FootMod, and obviously every time you look at obviously you don't always go by statistics, but you look at the statistics of like look at where he's always like even near the top or top when it comes to fullbacks. He's been obviously, but again, as we talked about, the other thing, the injuries, I think, is the one that's probably going to not put him in that spot. But I mean, I think me personally, I think O'Reilly probably, because I think he's been.
Who I went for.
Yeah,
it's such
agreed.
It's been such a revelation. I mean, obviously, you can sit there and be a bit weird and say, well, because he's a more of attacking. Yeah, he played defence, but he's been more of an attacking role. But like whatever Guardiola's done, like was it tactically to try and get the best out of him? He's been. You could sit there and say it's the difference between probably they could win the league because of that change, but he's been outstanding, I think. And I think
for such a young player as well, unbelievable what he's doing. I mean, I think
I totally believe in the left back thing. I think he's got that now in the England squad at least. I think he should be the go-to first star. So
yeah. So, I think before he started after the season he had, you would have made an argument for Lewis Hall.
Well,
yeah.
You'd made an argument for him, but now I think Nico O'Reilly, like you say, is my first pick there. It has to be.
But I think Calafu would have been different if he hadn't had injury. If he get consistency, I think he might have. I actually would have probably put him in there. Actually, I think it would have been if he didn't get that injury. But because obviously, as I said, he gets cropping up on more statistics, and obviously, normally statistics for defenders are usually a good place to start if you want to start somewhere. So, but again, injuries. Again, it's the problem. Sometimes it always consistency. So, but O'Reilly definitely. 100%.
Yeah. I think as well as that, just another kind of argument for O'Reilly as well is that particularly when City were kind of dipping and Arsenal looked to be kind of running away with it, and Haaland seemed to be the only one who's contributing goals. Nico O'Reilly, 5 goals and 4 assists. He must be one of the highest scoring fullbacks in the league this season. I mean, 5 goals is pretty high for a fullback. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he was starting to pitch in with goals as well with Haaland kind of dipping in form. So that obviously helped the side. My kind of secondary pick, I mean, it was always going to be Nico O'Reilly for me, I guess. But if I had to choose it, I've had a bit of a soft spot for Cucurella this season. I don't know why. It seems like every time I watch Chelsea, he seems to have a stormer of a game. I don't know if it's incredibly just coincidental.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
First half of the season, I would agree with that.
Every time I see him, he just plays great. It's weird, but but it was always going to be Nico O'Reilly.
Or is it elegant because of his hair? Is that it?
And he's just mental looking as well. He just looks a bit mad, like you know.
I think we can all agree on that. I assume, like as we can agree, the guy's got Jared, has great hair, but I mean. Again, it's that second half of the season. It's like you can sit there and say, well, you put him in that spot, but then obviously how dreadful Chelsea have been.
There's an argument for him, but I think there is, like you say, it's the business end of the season,
absolutely,
which is the bit that matters, and that's a bit annoying. I've gone with O'Reilly as well, and I personally do think the performances he's put out this season, I think he's not only the best left back in the Premier League. I think if he can keep it up, he'll be the best left back in the Premier League for the next 5-6 years. If he keeps it up, it was a game against. Sorry.
Sorry, I don't know. It's like, is it not Trent comparisons, but the idea that we haven't had a left back that attacking or was it full back in the long? You can sit there and say because obviously them kind of numbers.
I would actually argue that he's better. He could be better than Trent. Now, not saying in attacking. But you know when Reece James first come onto the scene and everyone was like, Reece James is the better one because he can do the defensive work that Trent can't. That's what O'Reilly is at the minute. The defensive work that O'Reilly offers is better than what Trent could offer. But the other thing as well is the fearlessness in O'Reilly's game. Like there was a point I brought it up last week where 2 Arsenal players surrounded him on the touchline. It was like there's no way you're getting out with that ball, and he just dribbled ball. He didn't kick it against them. He knew there was a way out, and that confidence at such a young age is just brilliant to see. I think that Man City have a really good player on their hands if they can keep a hold of him. If they can keep hold of him, I think he could be something really special. But just hope, fingers crossed, in terms of his injuries. Because I hope
absolutely,
James,
and he could get his first Premier League title this season. He could be in a treble-winning side, the domestic treble for City. So,
and
he was huge in the final for them as well.
Exactly,
huge.
Yeah.
Got to be careful. But also, one thing as we can probably got to be careful though, because obviously how much we bigged up Foden when he came in the game.
Get excited. Allow yourself to get excited. That's what
absolutely. Get excited, but in our DNA as people from England, how many times have we been disappointed by players?
False dawns.
Yeah,
Look,
so
I was
so
still
if you wanna
excited
be
about
cautious-
David Nugent when he got the goal against Andorra, okay? So I'm telling you now, you get
He's got-
excited.
he's got- he's got
David
it.
bloody
And that was
Nugent, Leicester
That was
legend.
the best tapping goal I've ever seen in my life.
Yes,
That's not
exactly,
the lie.
yeah.
That, you know, the top, like, you got a proper poacher goal that was. But yeah, I mean, I'm just when it comes to England, you got to be cautious because it's like I've been hurt too many times. So I'm like a bit.
Oh.
I'm a
And
bit
you've
like,
got to allow
you know,
yourself to open up. You've got to allow. You got to allow
Maybe-
yourself.
Open up
And
your
then
heart
I'll
to the
sit in.
world, Stu.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I'll sit in when we
When
knocked
the
out quarter
tournament-
final. Go. I hate football.
Yeah.
When the tournament starts, I'll be fine. But at the moment, I'm just very cautious. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
Fair enough. All right.
That's 3 for 3.
There we go. Yeah, we're doing all right here. Now the centre backs. This is where I think things get funny.
Well, yeah. I think there
Um,
might be a rogue shout in here somewhere.
So, if I've missed off anyone, please forgive me, and also please forgive me for pronunciation, as you know I'm very good. So you got Saliba, Gabriel, Ghee, Henry Konsa, and I think it's Kuvant
Who's he play for?
Kusef, the Man City centre back.
Kusanov.
Kusanov, that's it, Kusanov.
Yes.
And Newcastle centre back. Oh, what is his name now? Two name. Oh God.
Chouameni? No, not
Okay,
Chouameni.
No, he's not Chouameni. Oh God. I've got it
Hey,
written
if you
in,
want-
but
I'm saying if you want, I can easily just be like bail you out and just put like the name across the screen.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
can
do that
save you.
for me. Do that for me.
You'll be like,
The-
just sit there and say he means this one. So
Yeah,
just to
he
say,
means-
save
Yeah,
you back a little bit.
But because none of you can think of who it is, I'm going to say that
Right.
none of you've got him.
Yeah. It's a
So
safe
we'll go
bet,
with
I think.
Another players I would have maybe put in there. Again, related to the whole thing of Cucurella. Chalobah at the beginning of the season, I thought he was very good for Chelsea. Dan Burn was another one as well. He showed
Yeah, that's a good point,
glimpses. I think you would put Torres from Aston Villa. He was very good points as well.
Did you mention Ruben Diaz for City?
I've always thought he's a bit overrated, but you have to put him in there. Yeah, you do have to put him in there.
He's been out a lot this season, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
he?
the thing. I found it kind of
That's why.
difficult to choose centre backs, to be quite honest. I found this tricky.
Did you? Oh, okay.
Well, I've gone for Gabriel for one of them.
Yeah,
And I was very tempted to do Gabriel Saliba because I think they're great together. I think they're the best centre partnership in the Premier League. I did go for Ruben Diaz, but I honestly couldn't think of anyone else who's been like really standout at centre back, to be honest.
So I've gone Gabriel.
Yeah, I think we all have, right?
Okay, so we've all gone Gabriel. So we're 4 for 4. We're doing really
That's
well.
not bad.
This is great. And now it's changing.
This is where we deviate. Yeah,
So,
this is
yes.
where it all crumbles. Yeah.
I did think Saliba at first because he has been brilliant in the first. He was brilliant in the second half of the season. So the business end of the season, I think he's been the better one out of Gabriel and Saliba.
Yeah.
However, it has to be for me Mark Ghee.
100%.
I did think Ghee as well, but
He is the difference in that defence. I know we said about O'Reilly, but I think defensively, his cool-headedness, his mindset is absolutely brilliant. He's got the pace, he's got everything about him to be world-class.
Yeah.
But I think the argument you can make with this choice, I'm sticking with it, but the argument makes this choice, if Arsenal go and win the league, people will be like, why Ghee over Saliba? And it's like...
Yeah.
Well,
let's just.
without him.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm more than happy to concede my Ruben Diaz shout and just go with Ghee. To be honest, I haven't really watched much of City much this year, so I can't really say. I think he'd be better suited to say than I am. But yeah, I'm happy to go with Ghee over. Depending on what Stu
leadership
has.
ability as well.
Fair.
Yeah. Well, it's just pure. It can't be coincidence that all of a sudden, ever since they signed him in January, City at the back has been more solid and basically.
Have you gone for him as well, then, Stu?
Oh, of course. Like the funny thing is, this was for me. This was a bit easier than maybe the left and right backs for me because obviously Gabriel was obviously because Ghee, I think Ghee is the one that basically because of how everyone wanted him, and then obviously when City got him, And I think it's just that leadership and that stuff, that ability of he was really good for. I think it's because consistently throughout the season, even when he was at Palace, he was still probably one of the best defenders in the league. And then he's gone to City, that he can easily go and say, well, new club, and he's completely just kept that form up at City. So the idea that if we're going to say consistently throughout the season, you can say Ghee has been consistently the best defender in the league. So I would say, I think it's because he's done it in 2 clubs as well. Like the idea you move halfway through the season and still keep that quality tells you a lot about you as a player than anything else. So that's why I picked him.
I think with Kusanov, if he had done it throughout the season, he would be up for a better shout. But the second half of the season, he's been brilliant.
I think if you were to do most improved player 11, I think Kusanov would definitely get in there because he started off very shakily.
Well, we had that terrible performance against Chelsea, didn't he?
Yeah, and amongst a few others as well, many others. But can we go back and edit out me saying fucking Ruben Diaz, because otherwise I should have just said Ghee, to be honest, because then we'd be 5 for 5. But I'm happy to do Ghee. You guys make some compelling arguments.
All right. Yeah. So this is where we say we are going to edit that bit out.
Yes.
We're not.
Just edit my mouth just saying, Mark Ghee instead of,
Put a picture of Ghee coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You're sure you're not tempted? I can try and put like some sort of like word saying is that I put Ruben Diaz and then put at the top saying he actually means Ghee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He just got them mixed up, like, yeah.
This is it. We're now going to move on to the midfield, but before we do that, what formation have we gone for here?
4-2-3-1.
Same.
A flexible 4-2-3-1 in midfield that can kind of change into a diamond, but
yeah, I think that's a very sensible.
With 2 sitters, because I think there's 2
Why do I have this feeling when you said that's very sensible? Have you gone crazy over there with your formation, or is it 4-2-3-1 over there, Matt?
No, it is 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
It is 4-2-3-1. I'm just curious. I'm just curious, Stu. I'm growing up.
It's just the way you said it. The way you said
I'm maturing.
Okay.
I'm maturing like Parmesan cheese.
I've not heard that one before. Matt Downey original. Right, yeah. So I've got 2 sitters anyway. So
okay. So the ones that I have looked at. So Casemiro, Enzo Fernandez, Granit Xhaka, Elliot Anderson, Phil Foden, Morgan Rogers, Martin Zubimendi, Rodri, Szoboszlai, Bruno Fernandes, and Declan Rice. Now, before we speak about the other midfielders and obviously say our choices, I did want to mention Szoboszlai. He has been brilliant this season. But am I right in thinking, Stu, it's been mainly at right back?
Right back, yeah.
So could there be an argument for him being at right back over Timber, or would you still go with Timber?
No, I would still go with Timber, because obviously it's one of those situations, like, as much as I would love to say, like, oh, he has played mostly at right back, he is a midfielder. So it's like it's the difference between that. And also, imagine the hate I would get is basically like, I've taken an Arsenal player that plays at right back and then decided to put a player that plays in the midfield. And it's a Liverpool thing.
But his defensive work's not been anywhere near as good as his attacking. No. So that's
and also we just you see sometimes in some of the games this season where when he plays in midfield and he's in that kind of advanced areas, he's just so much better and he's so much more effective.
Yeah.
So it's why Liverpool fans have been so like annoyed when he puts him in right back. You're like, well, he can't do anything at right back. He's good at it, but like, can you put him up the field, please, and put him in midfield? But well, I was tempted to put him in there, to be fair, but I resisted the urge because I think there are a couple of my players that are a bit, don't be called as biased, do I? Not totally wasn't biased last year.
The reason I've only mentioned those players, I do remember there are some very good ones I've not mentioned, but the reason I've only mentioned them is because we're going to focus on our 2 sitters first. Focus on our 2 sitters first. I did think about Caicedo because he was very good and arguably the best midfielder in the Premier League first half.
Again, first half, yeah.
Business end of the season, I really think he's fallen off.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but he has not been as good as what he could be, which is a real shame. Is there any players you think I missed out?
No,
maybe?
Casemiro wasn't it. I did because again, just trying to think of kind of United. Casemiro was, and he's starting to bang in goals. He's having a good, strong end to the season, but he's certainly not in my team anyway. I don't think he deserves a place in the team, but he was an interesting shout.
It deserves a mention for me.
A mention.
Yeah.
Zubimendi is an interesting player because he's certainly one of the players who, at the beginning of the season, I would have imagined might be in the team of the season come the end of the year. Because I think we all figured that was just a key purchase for Arsenal to go and win the league, and that he would be excellent for them. But he has had a dip as well. But I did go for Rice as one of them anyway. Declan Rice as one of my sitters.
I did as well.
I'm assuming we all.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Did you not go for him?
I was actually I'm in an R in between another one. One of them was a nail on. The other one I'm in an R in. I'm in an R in.
Okay.
I was up and down with either Zubimendi or Rodri. Zubimendi has been phenomenal, but I think again he slipped off a little bit. He's not been as brilliant. Rodri, this end of the season,
been good.
Ballon d'Or level back. Like he's going back that way again, which is brilliant to see.
But again, the old second half.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go with Rice. I'll go with Rice there. Is there a fair argument to say player of the season if Arsenal go on and win it?
Yeah, I would say so. Either him or Raya, to be honest. I think Raya's been that effective and just that fabulous for it, just that brilliant. I think it would be unusual to see a team win the league and have the keeper be the player of the season. So I don't think that would be the case. But yeah, Rice would be in with a shout. It must have done. It must have done. At least once.
Probably not. It probably wouldn't surprise me if it's the first season of when
maybe
Man
not.
United
Maybe not.
It's by Peter Schmeichel, I would only guess.
I did think Schmeichel right there, that maybe he might have in. But no, I think Rice would be in for their shout. No one else has really been. I mean, Gyökeres has been a bit disappointing. I think 12 goals in the league, not really amazing return. Saka's been injured. Martinelli's not been at the races. Odegaard's not been at the races. I think you'd have to say Rice,
Yeah, I think from the Arsenal team, definitely,
Yeah, Eze's been a bit disappointing as well. So they bought him.
I mean, obviously, again, I totally got that title I put when he scored against Tottenham, and he said, "Is he going to be the key player?" And then
we never heard from him.
Yeah, I've got this is the point when you go by, anyway. But the point is, he hasn't been. He's been quite disappointing. But I think Rice is just because obviously with all the problems, they just as much as we do criticise him at times for being a bit more involved and kind of a bit more, he has to be that player that kind of takes a scruff at the neck. He has been consistently, even his last 2 seasons, he's been one of Arsenal's best players. So he definitely would be. It would be very strange. I mean, again, as I keep saying, bold to not put him at least in the conversation or put him in the team, but. Yeah, I think he has been that spine that obviously has kept Arsenal still in it, I would say. So
he's on the brink of going from one of the best in the league to world class for me.
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite there yet. He has to win a trophy.
I think he has to win a trophy. Yeah. And they are in the Champions League semi-finals as well, as well. I mean, they're still in with the European double.
He's the big game player. He's done it in the big game. He's done it against Real Madrid, so we know he's capable.
How long ago was that? No, I don't know how long.
Only last season.
Harken back to that. Well,
I do think that he is a consistent player. He will offer you a 7 or 8 out of 10 every game. But it is just that, is he going to
just win a trophy, win a big trophy? Yeah, he's already won a trophy in his career. I know that, but still, win the Premier League. Yeah.
You can say that about most Arsenal players, to be fair. It's just obviously depends on this. Is would winning the Premier League or Champions League, that'd be the thing. We're all saying there's something off about it. Ironically, what makes great players great and world class usually is the ability to win trophies. So it might for him, it might be just that he needs to with his Arsenal team win a trophy. But he's been by far one of the point that you could. Well, I think we had an argument earlier in the season saying who's the best midfielder in the Premier League, and I think the tail end of the season you can say Rice has kind of proved it's him.
Yeah.
You could say so, but yeah, I mean, I think a trophy. If they win the Premier League, I think that'd be enough, experience enough to know what to do to tip it over the edge. I would say, because sometimes players like that need that.
Yeah. Who was everyone's second choice? So I know who mine is.
I think it was quite obvious. This is the nailed on.
Okay, go on.
It's got to be Xhaka, right?
No, it's not. This is going to be very interesting. I don't think Stu's gone for Xhaka either. He hasn't.
Really?
So we have one player each here. Now we have to justify.
See, for me, okay, right. Well, for me, I mean, goals, assists, very, very few. But I think this was a pick more so not based on purely on individual performance. I think this was a case of how far this player got enhanced a team that came into the Premier League that everyone thought was going to get relegated, let alone, I mean, not even get the top 10 of top half of the Premier League. I mean, we all predicted Sunderland to get relegated, I think, if not be in the last 4 or 5 positions come the end of the season. So I think it's about a player enhancing an entire team as opposed to an individual performance throughout the year. And I think what he's done with Sunderland, he's their captain. He came in, he's got Premier League experience, bags of experience. Particularly with the Premier League, obviously with being a former Arsenal player. And I think he transformed that team into something that Sunderland didn't even imagine they could achieve this season as well. Again, there's still 4 or 5 games to go. Could still achieve
Europe.
Top 6, I think. Europe, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, and I think a large part of that is down to him. Obviously, they've got some great players in there. We mentioned Rose, the keeper, Mukiela as well at the back. But I think Xhaka has been their player this season. I think he's fabulous.
Okay, Stu.
After hearing that, I was like, damn, like shit. He did crop my list, but I just think because as he had like his kind of tail end of the season, he's kind of been. It's not the first half was better, maybe in the second half, maybe.
Yeah, his fatigue kicked in. The fatigue has kicked in a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, I could say that's harsh because obviously did he have an injury that took him out for a while, so maybe that might be. But yeah, I think again, it's one of the situations I would say wouldn't be if we all conceded that'd be fine because obviously he's been a key player. But I chose Elliot Anderson for Nottingham Forest.
I knew you would pick him. I knew it.
Because every time we talk about England, I keep going on about him. So it's not a coincidence that I put Elliot Anderson and Rice together on my team this season. There's no coincidence whatsoever. Okay, just saying, it's just pure stats and pure what I feel. He literally has been that rock of even with the downs of Nottingham Forest. He's been a consistent performer. I mean, I think it's ever since us. Obviously, when we played against them. When they done us up 3-0, was it Anfield? It's like he was everywhere. He was like literally like when he was in the box, he was everywhere. He's such he's good at everything. It's like he's one of them completely third as well. He can get the ball back quickly. He can create something. He can run. He can do all the stuff you would expect someone in that position. And I think and obviously we're not in Forest now. I think it's you could say 2 best players probably be him or Morgan Gibbs White. But yeah, I don't know. I just think. I get it with Xhaka, like we can sit there and say he has been like instrumental of what they've done, but obviously you can sit there and say with Elliot Anderson, he's performed is really without him in that team, I don't know where Nottingham Forest would be. I think when it comes to being even in a shout or staying up. So, but yeah, I think it was a tough one though. But I don't know. I just think he has been. I just had to give him a shout and I had to put him in there. So.
I think that they're compelling arguments, but I'm still not entirely convinced to be quite honest.
I think the thing with Nottingham Forest as well is if they were higher up in the table, I think like a lot more people would probably agree. I do think that his contribution this season has been underestimated because of how bad Nottingham Forest has been. But would it be a fair argument to actually say the reason why Nottingham Forest has been so bad isn't because they're shipping loads? Is because obviously they'll bring with the managers but the goals. Last season, Chris Woods was nearly on 20 goals, I believe. This season, their top scorer is Morgan Gibbs White with 13.
Yeah. Funny thing is, it was always a thing with them because I saw at the time because we all talked about it like one time. Like they got a good. Was it? I mean, Sunderland is similar in a way, like kind of like they have a good, like they have was it chances created or something like that? So it's like was it 1 or 2 chances a game? Yeah, so it's like it's very like low. It's like they don't score a lot more than 1 or 2 goals, and you kind of knew with that kind of run it was going to run out eventually. But yeah, I think it's one of those things. I think where Sunday night, I can see why you would go for Xhaka more because obviously where you expected Nottingham Forest to kind of we were hoping at mid-table, maybe a bit lower, some of us, but like David before they got down. Still happened by the way.
Yeah, this is just the thing. This is my thinking is that I would find it difficult to justify placing a player into a team of the season that could still get relegated. They're still only 4 points off the relegation zone. And I know
They won't go down. Don't be silly now.
I know, but they're still in the scrap. Do you know what I mean? But I totally understand everything, and I completely agree with everything that Stuart said about Anderson. I'm completely with him on that. But I think, well, who did you go for actually, Matt?
I went for Enzo Fernandes. I think that he has been our best player by a country mile this season. The most consistent player. Yes, all that stuff about him coming out in the press and saying the things he did and then getting banned for 2 games. But he has been, when he's on the pitch, he has been the difference in those big games. Against West Ham United, he scored the big goal off the FA Cup semi-final just this weekend. Again, stepping up in the big game, done against Man City early in the season. He has always been in that midfield, and with Moises Caicedo next to him, he has been given the license to kill in a way, and his late runs into the box. He reminds me of the days of Lampard, like he's that sort of player, and I love it. I think that his numbers back it up as well. I haven't really got a defensive player there, but I think that Declan Rice does make up for that enough for me. My second choice was actually Elliot Anderson. I would have probably lent more towards Elliot Anderson than Xhaka. But if you said to me in terms of impact, Xhaka gets in like that. He blankets it. He's in.
I'd have Casemiro over Fernandes, to be quite honest. I think it's an interesting shout, but
I mean, that was that debate we had at the start of the season, who's the better? Because obviously, the start of the season for Chelsea was absolutely immense. Like, he was such a good player. I mean, obviously, that balance between, was it Casemiro and obviously Fernandes was actually, you finally found the balance after, well, Stu, you did find the balance, and then you kind of fell off a cliff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We got rid of a manager.
Like everything was working, and he decided to go, I want to go a bit of chaos again. But the point is, like, I could agree with that, but like, could I say like Casemiro, you could say was better. Like, you could say if he kept the run he was on in the first half of the season, which Chelsea weren't good, he probably would be a good shout for this to get the team. But yeah,
okay. Well, let's go around then.
Yeah,
and we have to go stick or twist. Okay, if you say stick, you're sticking with the player you've gone with. Okay. And then if there's an argument, there's an argument. We'll make a scene. We'll start with David. David, are you sticking or twisting?
I think I want to stick, but I will say in favour of Stu's pick, I would have Elliot Anderson over Enzo Fernandes. I would say that, but I'm willing to stick to my guns in terms of Xhaka.
Of course you would. I'm not bitter at all.
Yeah. I can't believe either of you didn't go for Xhaka, honestly. Interesting to see what the comments say, but anyway. Yeah.
I mean,
Stu? Stick
to be fair,
how are we going to decide this? If Stu decides to stick with Anderson, how are we going to reconcile?
I have to. Like.
Oh right. Okay.
I have the power.
The power of the host means that he has the power to have the final say.
Well, Stu, stick with Anderson then, Stu. And then Stu what if Stu just sticks with Anderson and then just let Matt decide?
I mean, to be fair, I was good. Ironically, I think I was going to stick as well because obviously it's just.
Yeah,
you are going to stick. Oh God.
Yeah. One, because obviously I just think he has been immense for Nottingham Forest, but also two, it's kind of I want to see Matt sweat a little bit. See who gets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Xhaka. I am. Yeah. I think Elliot Anderson has been brilliant. I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said,
a must in that England midfield when it does come to the World Cup.
Yep.
He's mature mindset. He's like the way he reads the game and everything and protects the defence. I think he's absolutely essential for Tuchel's plans going into the World Cup. I think it would be a real shame if he's not a starter, but he has to be on the plane for sure.
Yeah. He'll start.
But my reason why he doesn't make it and instead Xhaka does, no one could see what Xhaka was going to do.
Yeah.
No one would have seen that. That leadership ability. He's like you say, it's not a memorable moment. It is just consistently
so good,
brilliant in terms of the defensive structure. If they were to lose him in the summer for whatever reason, I would then worry for Sunderland. I'd be like, could be a big problem, like big shoes to fill, if you will. So yeah,
it was fascinating. So I remember when I think it was like it was at Bayer Leverkusen, a team that's just challenging for like the big trophies in Germany, obviously, and obviously doing had a good just won a league literally 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden he's gone, I want to go to Sunderland, and everyone's like, what?
Of all places,
yeah.
And then it's like everyone's like, oh, he's mad, he's crazy, what's going on? All as we found out, maybe he knew something, and obviously it's proved that why he wanted to go there, because he's been absolutely immense. So it's not one of these things. When the old saying goes, it's not a hill I'm going to die on. So I'm not getting this. It's not. It's like everyone wins with this one, because either way who picks, we all kind of agree that the ones that like we're not going to be like. It's not like was it that if we picked Ellie Allison, David's going to be like, I'm done.
No, not at all. No, if Matt had gone for Ellie Allison, I would have said, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
They're both great picks. I mean,
don't get me wrong. You're still both wrong, but like I have to give in to one of them.
No, I think both of those would be a better pick than Enzo Fernandez, to be honest.
As we've found out, it's not a dictatorship; it's a democracy at this podcast. So the who gets the most votes wins. So
yep.
So we obviously don't want
we're a democracy here.
Yeah, we don't want Matt to take full control, because then that's a dangerous.
That's a dictatorship. Yeah. we're a democracy here.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the more exciting part of the midfield, if you will, in terms of your attackers. And again, if I miss out anyone, I apologise. But these are some of the players that have probably stood out for me this year. Anthony Gordon. Was it Brian and Bremo? I put in there as well. Iliman and Jai from Everton. Noni Madueke. Antoine Semenyo. Jeremy Doku. Ryan Cherki. And what's his name? Oh God, I've just forgot his name now.
Who does he play for?
Oh God, Eze. Ebrigi Eze. That's it. Sorry. Eze.
Okay.
Now, again, I probably have missed out a couple. I think there's been there's been more sparkling moments for some other players like Estival. He has shown glimpses of brilliance, but he's not been consistently brilliant throughout the season.
It's been a funny season for left and right wingers, I think. There's not been many players who play on the flanks that have had consistent
Bruno
seasons.
Fernandes.
That we're doing central. Okay, yeah. But I'm thinking just in terms of the wingers, like there's not really been many standout way. Like you said, there have been players with flat, like Anthony Gordon had a kind of a purple patch. Doku, players like that. There's no wingers that have been really kind of consistent throughout. Even players like Eze and
Semenyo probably is your most consistent.
Well, Semenyo's in my team. So
yeah, in everyone's.
Huh?
Yeah.
Is he in everyone's? Yeah.
Was it 2 years in a row for me? Because obviously I was in it last year as well. Just because.
I agreed. Yeah.
But I guess we'll get to that one. But are we starting with attacking midfield, or are we going to do by the?
By the sounds of it, we've done Semenyo.
Semenyo.
But he's more on the flank, isn't he?
Yeah. So I've got him on the left.
Yeah. Isn't he like he plays on the left, obviously, for Bournemouth? But I mean, unless I'm wrong, I haven't checked it recently. Like, he still plays in left for City, or does he play in the right as well? I think
he can play. He can play both flanks, but I think he plays in the left more often for City. So
again, it's like the argument we said about was it Ghee about our ability of keeping our form up when moving on to the different club. It's probably the same here with Semenyo. To be fair, like the idea is, he's gone to City and just kept doing what he was doing at Bournemouth. Like tells you a lot about the player as well. So I think that's a.
There was no adjustment period at all. He just continued doing what he was doing. I agree.
Let's start. I know it was an FA Cup game, but he started in the first game. We scored. I'm
like, he started off. Yeah.
So I think so we agree on that one. So it's left wing. So we got that one down.
Okay. I think Noni Madueke, the reason I put him in this list is because despite he's not been the standout performer for Arsenal this season, when Saka's been injured, he has stepped up and actually done a half decent job in his place. I would say he's
just
the
not
better. I
just
think
but
Saka's still
just
better.
not needed more goals in his game. But but he did have some good games in Saka's.
But again, he's had
Yeah.
injuries as well, because obviously just when he
Yeah.
was Saka was out and he was having a good little bit of run of form.
Mm.
Obviously, then he got that injury, and it kind of, and obviously that situation. Even if you go even talk to England when he was playing in them 2 England games, like he looked really dangerous. And I think he's one of those players that he's excited to watch. Like he's one of those players when he got the ball, he just seems like he can, he's gonna do something that's kind of nice. To, again, thing that I like about wingers these days, this season maybe, is that the started to go back to what wingers were, kind of just running at defenders and kind of stuff. I've seen a couple this season where that they've done that. That's kind of nice. But I don't think again worth a mention, but not. I don't think he was shout of getting in the team, I would say.
Yeah,
Okay.
Doku's one of those players for me, Stu. Just classic winger, like taking men on and that kind of thing. And just
I love watching Doku.
I love it. If he had more goals in his game, he'd be unstoppable. But I do love watching him play. But it's unfortunate he's not quite as consistent in terms of goal return and stuff like that.
Yeah, because again he has snippets of moments of brilliance.
He's amazing to watch. Yeah,
when obviously after Liverpool, it's like obviously he was unstoppable. It was amazing in that game.
Yeah, his footwork when he gets into the box and he's like, he's great. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just nice. I think this season has kind of proved that it's nice to see just wingers. Like this, like okay, we've got to go inside. Part of the team is like, give me the ball and I'll just run it.
Love it. Yeah, I love that.
And you can. It's reason why obviously we on Ngamoa, like why I like starting to a lot of people love him, because he's basically similar to O'Reilly. It's like no fear. The guy's not. Was a 17-year-old. He's got 2 defenders on him, and he's basically gone. He doesn't care. And I kind of like that kind of confidence, and it's nice to see wingers like that instead of it being like kind of like like him will go inside or just pass it or like used as a way to get the fullbacks in. It's just nice to see your winger. Your job is to run into the box and try and get a cross in. It's so refreshing to see. So, but I don't know. I just maybe I'm just nostalgic because obviously we were brought up with really amazing wingers over when we were watching football back in the day. So
I think Morgan Rogers is another player that plays really well out on the flank as well. But I don't think he's done quite enough. I think Njai for Everton has been really good this season.
Yeah, they've had a couple, and Grealish at the beginning of the season was doing okay as well. But again,
and then Dewsbury Hall stepped up as well, which was good to see. I've gone for my other two. So we've all got Semenyo.
Yeah.
My other two I've gone for are Bruno Fernandes in the middle.
Yeah.
I think hands down he has to be in there.
I think he gets everyone's. Yeah.
And then Ryan Cherki on the other flank.
That's what I went for as well.
Ryan Cherki is a player. It's currently, for me, if someone said if you had £1 million, you could only use that money to watch one player currently in the Premier League, that's him. Every day. He is so good to watch, I think. And the goal against Arsenal is just a sign of things to come, lads. I think he's amazing.
It's just the footwork of that goal. Like the other decent. Like so
Hazard-esque. It was just
I know.
really good.
I did have flashbacks to against Liverpool. I'm not going to lie.
But I went for exactly the same front.
It's just nice to see individual brilliance, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like it's nice to see because obviously that's the thing that's been kind of lacking the last couple of years. But like a guy like instead of it being like kind of okay, well it's all part of the system. He goes, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to just go through like little individual brilliance and I think that's why I think he's. I think obviously it was on my list, but for me, I put I don't know if he plays in the right wing. Harry Wilson like for Fulham?
Because that is a very good shout.
Interesting.
Harry Wilson is a very good shout, actually. That is a very, very good shout.
Would Fulham? Look again, the situation. Would Fulham be where they are right now if it wasn't for his?
Very likely not.
I am astounded he still hasn't been offered a contract there as well. I don't think he's been offered a contract extension. His contract runs out in the summer. That's insane. This is your best player by a country mile.
Was it him? Who's that right back? I think he had. Was it left back or the other?
Robinson.
Was it like? Oh no! I think it's the right back. Obviously, I think
Robinson,
it's like he's on the left, and it's like obviously he's been consistently good this season. But I mean, I think it's because it's like I think it was also because I kept looking at my list and I was like. All the teams like top 6 technically. So I was like I've got to start putting some other teams to make it a bit more of a rounded. But also because he's been so like literally a show wheel of all his goals this season could be like spectacular because half of them have been outside the box and they've been absolute belters. So
yeah,
I mean,
no.
he's always good at being a free kick guy, but this season he's just outdone himself this year. So
That's a great show. Because me and Matt both went for the same player. I think I guess like if we follow the rules, it does mean we have to go with Cherki. But I'm just looking up the stats really quickly. So obviously for forward players, goals and assists are sort of the things you look after, isn't it? So Wilson has 10 goals and 8 assists. Cherki, who did only start to come into real form towards the sharp end of the season, 4 goals and 11 assists. So I think Wilson does kind of edge it in terms of goal returns.
But and again, and also importance for the team as well. Like example, like we kind of put it in some of the players we pick, like importance of the team. You could again the same argument we said previously. Like if you took Cherki out of that team, like would City be like it like just a little bit
in terms
worse?
of importance as well?
I'm honestly happy to go with Wilson. I think that's a great little show.
Yeah, I mean,
don't turn. What are you doing?
But looking at those numbers, and again, Cherki. No one was talking about Cherki pre-January.
I was.
You know, he had a few flat. Well, he was my player to watch this season, like I keep bringing up. But he had a very slow start, like a lot of City players did. He only in this last few months has he started to pick up form, and you know, started to get his place in this team more often. So Wilson's been a little bit more throughout the season consistent. You know what I mean?
I think that the reason why I personally would still stick with Cherki is because, yes, I do agree that Harry Wilson has been excellent this season. Very good. Huge part by Fulham has been fantastic. But I think with Cherki, there was flashes of it at the start of the season.
There were flashes.
He was adapted to the Premier League as well. But Man City, I believe, paid around 30 to 40 million for him from Lyon. If I'm right in thinking it was Lyon or something like that. It was definitely from the French league.
Okay, right.
But basically, he has then gone on to go from a player that, he can provide something here and there to he is, for me, a linchpin in that team. He is there, like, if he stays fit, if he can still produce the goods, he is their De Bruyne replacement at the minute. That is
he could be one of the key players that takes the title as well. I mean, yeah, there's that.
There's that as well. That's the thing. If they win the title, then he has to be in it for me.
But then you can sit there and say, obviously, he said at the start of the season he was a bit like off, like, but how also like he's been consistent for most of the season. Like most seasons, like you can sit there and say anything good that Fulham have done has come from when he's on form, like he's on form and he's been consistent. I mean, if you want to use fantasy points as an example, he's been consistently getting points throughout the season.
The face Matt pulled there.
Usually that's a sign of like. Usually that's consistent.
I don't like stats. I like
I'm not a big fan of stats either, but I think sometimes they just don't like.
You just use stats in.
I know. That's what I mean. I'm not consistent at all. But I think in the spirit of kind of, I want to make it. Let's variety is the spice of life, as they say. So I think let's not have another City player in there. I'm going to switch to Wilson.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, to be fair, that's the logic I was going for because I kept looking at all the players. It's basically Arsenal, City, all Man United. All the teams.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like last season. What I liked about my City team last season, and I guess in some of this is it's had so many. It was more variety around across the league. Like a lot of Palace players, Fulham players, obviously Bournemouth players, that kind of stuff. I don't know. It just feels like a bit more. But no, I just think his importance. I think Harry was needs to be much more. Fulham.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I think it's a good point.
So, but yeah, okay. So
Harry Wilson you're in, mate. Good stuff.
So the 1-1.
Good shout, Stu.
Was it 1-1? Because obviously I lost the one.
Yeah. Now we're back. Now the striker could be an interesting one. Oh well, we didn't mention Bruno, but I mean he's been great.
Your praise and well done, Stu. You got your way. You stubborn.
It doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does. So it's nice.
Yeah, fair play, mate. You won me over.
Right. Okay. So in terms of the striking position, now for me, this is the only position in the entire Premier League team of the season that can go fully off of stats, and one stat, goals. If they don't have any goals, you don't deserve to be in it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So I've got the top goal scorers from this season. Some of them I did miss out because they were midfielders, and I was like, you can't have a midfielder up front. But you got Haaland, Igor Thiago, João Pedro, Danny Welbeck. Please put him in. Victor Gyökeres, Hugo Ekitike, and Ollie Watkins. Now, I am fully expecting this to be between Igor Thiago and Haaland. I would go as far as to say Igor Thiago.
That's who I went for.
Yeah.
But then there is an argument for Haaland.
Have you gone for Haaland, Matt?
I haven't gone for anyone because I really struggled with that bit. That was the bit I struggled with.
I thought it'd be controversial. I literally thought with the Haaland thing, so obviously when he was top of the stats and obviously that, I thought I put Igor Thiago, everyone was like, what? But then now when I think, but then it's like the idea that everyone's like, yeah, that's what I think.
Consistency has been brilliant all the way through.
Exactly.
And also the same argument, we've been talking about all thing of like, without his goals would be the same thing, isn't it? It's like, but yeah.
He could still win the Golden Boot. There's only a 3-goal difference between them, and there's 4 games. He could easily win the Golden Boot.
But then, if you don't have the Golden Boot winner in your 11,
no, I don't think.
I don't think that's a massive controversy. I don't,
You don't think? Oh, okay.
No, I mean,
I
don't think so. Depending on who you replace him with. I mean, if you're replacing with some nobody, with someone who's terrible.
One honourable mention I did.
Have that dip though, didn't he? He had that dip for like 2 months.
He had a dip for
ages. Yeah.
That's the thing as well. So this is another argument too.
You could sit
but to have the second highest goal scorer in the league be a Brentford player, though, I think is like you said,
would have put.
Exactly, and he's been great, and he's probably going to start for Brazil in the World Cup, and he's like I said, he's on 21 goals. He can still beat out Haaland.
I mean, it's actually crazy when you think about it. The idea that when we get to that point, we look at our predictions for the season. It's going to be
wildly,
it's going to be painful. But I think what I love about it sometimes is like, was it that Brentford have got like the second top scorer in the league. And I like it when I'm wrong like that because obviously no one was expecting it because obviously they lost everything.
Chris Wood last season as well. Chris Wood last season for Nottingham Forest. He was quite up there as well, wasn't he? He was quite up there too.
It's just the idea that basically like some of the goals he scored, it's just again, it's like in the situation of he's just being how important he has been for them. It's like they got 2 strikers? Obviously, we know last season they had 2 on 20, but the idea that basically they've lost basically all their top scorers, and this guy's just come along going, okay, and I'll just keep, I'll just. I
think that's a massive factor to consider as well.
Yeah.
Like Wissa and Mbeumo both going, and then so massive gaps
to fill.
Exactly.
Yeah. The 2 players I did want to give honourable mentions for is Danny Welbeck because he has had his best season.
Absolutely.
In the Premier League.
Like statistically, his highest scoring ever Premier League season.
15 goals in the season this season.
If he doesn't get in, it's Travis.
Wow.
Yeah. João Pedro was another one I wanted to give an honourable mention for. I think he's second best signing of the season. I would argue
after
Xhaka. Can't remember the start of the season because a couple of months ago now. But when you're going into the start of the season, obviously you're thinking of. Were you expecting him to be to kind of get level of that, or were you expecting him to be maybe he might be the slowest,
Well, no, to be honest, I wasn't expecting it because I remember, and I think there is a short of it of me saying we paid 60 million quid for a Brighton forward who's not even that good.
Oh, I have to find that now.
He's proved me wrong. He's proved me wrong. So I'll firmly admit that João Pedro, not only have you proved me wrong, I freaking love him. I think he's a brilliant player. Second to Enzo Fernandes this season for me, and fantastic for Chelsea, especially when Rosner did come in. He was the difference in terms of us doing all right under him as
Well,
well.
when you actually played him the right way as well, because
Yeah,
obviously there was moments
exactly.
when you were playing him, like, was it false nines and stuff, and you're like,
Yeah,
just
don't play false
play
nine.
like one.
Striker, get the lap
Yeah.
out. Striker.
I mean,
The
obviously, sorry, like
I
just
love how
name
much
over
you
like
hate the lab.
I hate him. I fucking hate him. Sorry. I just do. Like,
I mean,
he's a
if anything, the size of one
tractor
season
boy
wonder.
should have sodded off back to the bleed country.
If anything, Jesus, that's very strong words there. Very strong words there. It's like he's not gone from like I just hate him. It's like he's gone personal. It's got proper.
Yeah.
He was a
Just
tractor
slip that
boy
up
of
as a
Ipswich,
short
isn't he?
there, Stu. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
like
was
no, I
Ipswich,
put up.
so-
I mean, I think the player I just mentioned him, and obviously I don't expect him being. Obviously, I think Thiago's one, but just because of how out of all the new signings we've got at Liverpool, I think Igor Thiago got to get him mentioned.
Yeah.
I think I'd agree with that. I think he deserves an honourable mention.
Shame
as
he got
well.
injured.
I'm
I
so
think
about that.
Yeah,
Could be,
I
yeah.
think Gyökeres does as well. He does deserve a mention. However,
12
I
goals?
think
Is
because
that how much how much we would have
like
wanted?
exactly, but in terms of the impact,
I think he's been disappointing. Been a bit disappointing, Gyökeres.
I mean, I admit he was
Yeah,
hitting form
I'd go on,
a couple of like he was hitting a little bit of form, but again, it's like for what the price.
Well, he was the top goal scorer in 2026 up till March, I believe.
Then he couldn't even get. He can't even get in the team. He comes off the bench now. It's weird.
And that was like basically he was bought for the be the guy that gets the goals that puts them off. Like again, still possible, but again,
still possible. Yeah.
But again, with Arsenal, it's like if they win the league, it's not going to be because he got like 20 odd goals and all that stuff. It's because of
their defensive work.
Yeah.
I think I said that at the start of the season. See, I'm a genius.
I have to admit, I remember that, and yes, you were right. We'll let you have that one.
Bow to brilliance, okay? Bow to brilliance.
Okay. I love that.
If you had your own separate football podcast, that's what you'd fucking call it, wouldn't it? You would just be called Bow to Brilliance. It was just the most egotistical title ever. Like, yeah. I hate Liam to laugh.
What I love about it is a little bit of praise, you know. So they go, yeah, you were right. He's like, I know, I'm just brilliant. I'm just
that's just how it is, mate. Like, yeah.
Once every like 52
the ego in this fella. Yeah.
I can see why Kyle can't concede about anything, even if he's like, he can't admit he's right because
oil and water, those two.
I know. Got to get him back at some point. We've just got to have that.
But yeah, what was it we were saying? Yeah, about like obviously impact of some of these players been very good, but Haaland and Thiago are the two who are the biggest shouts. I think that I would lean more towards Thiago purely because no one saw this coming. I don't care if you're a Brentford fan and you knew the club inside out to you only watched football yesterday. Igor Thiago was a complete what? He's second top goal scorer or even the Golden Boot winner at the end of this season. That's crazy.
What's crazy about it? I think it was like when we did the signings of the season that we'll go back.
We didn't even mention him.
Didn't even mention him.
But I don't think he was even was classed because I believe they signed him the season before, did they not?
Oh, then
this is what I was going to say. Like that's the thing. It's like we remember that. It's like Thiago. I thought, that's an easy pick. It's like, he signed last season. So I'm like, wait, what? So the idea that he obviously had a season where he was just completely even injured or just
prone and everything.
Yeah, and all of a sudden this season he's just turned up. He's just like stepped up basically. I think it's one of those things. Let's put it. Haaland's going to get in the team of the season in obviously the Premier League stuff. That's how kind of annoyingly how it works. Where if you look at the people on, was it the Premier League and stuff, it probably. But I think Thiago should win it. Basically,
I actually disagree with that.
Yeah,
I get what you mean because Haaland probably will win the Golden Boot. And obviously his first half of the season he was unstoppable. It's only because he slowed right down that Thiago was able to catch up. But Thiago was consistently scoring goals. Every 3 games he was at least getting 1 or 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And again, who they lost with the goals they lost from last season, I think he really had to. He did the business for them. He deserves it.
I just don't see him being like. The problem is like how I know how they do those Premier League team of the seasons, right? He should be in it, and there should be no doubt that he should be put in it. But because of obviously 9 times out of 10, because of whoever wins the league and who's higher up in the position, they'll probably go for Haaland. They shouldn't, but it's probably what they're going to do. It's annoying, but I think they
It's-
should go
yeah.
for Thiago.
But I believe that a couple of us did go for Haaland to win the Golden Boot at the end of the season. So
I think I
whoever
went for
that
Gyökeres.
was, I believe you did. I believe you did. So that don't look good,
that
does
was a
it?
terrible
No.
shout.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I was going to
No,
say,
I
I
should've-
think someone did. I definitely didn't, because I remember you said that you
Trusted
joined
my
me on that
gut.
because I said about Arsenal win the title, and I said no because I think that's
cool.
I think I said Zubamendi would be Player of the Year as well. I think.
Well, I mean, it's an argument for
I mean,
that.
I think Andy was a Wharton for Palace. I think he would have been a player to watch. But I mean, he has. You could sit there and say he probably hasn't. Obviously,
I'm surprised you didn't say Elliot Anderson.
Well, I didn't know at the time. If I had a time machine and go back to try and see if I can, I'll go back and say it. But again, he's another player that basically no one saw coming. So it's just I know. But
you just know that he is 1,000% that cheerleader. That if in the summer Liverpool have to go for a defensive midfielder, you know for a fact he's screaming, "Listen, Anderson, get him in!"
I can't be ashamed to admit that. Yeah,
exactly.
I
You
think-
would. Yeah, you would.
The kind of defensive midfielders I like, and kind of those kind of defensive midfielders, he's exactly the kind of for Liverpool. It's like if we had him in midfield, it would just be I think we wouldn't be as easy to get past because of his ability to tread back and get the ball back. But again, it's I don't know. I think I just love those kind of midfielders, and he's come on, and the idea that he's probably going to be in that too with England should tell you a lot about how good he is. That the idea that basically normally all the players that could go in that position, Eddie Anderson, you would say is the main basically that midfield two is set. You would say,
I think
I think so.
I think as well, and we'll finish the team of the year on this. Is that basically Liverpool? I think are going to be the team to watch next season in a good or a bad way. They'll either bounce back from a bad season and be in the title race again,
or sack Slot before Christmas,
or they will just completely crumble.
and
unfortunately, Slot will be gone before November.
Yeah.
So I think they're interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it would be. I don't think it's that much of a controversial one, to be fair, because obviously of how it's much more of a realistic shout than obviously how all the pundits obviously wasn't so, but all the pundits were kind of freaky, because with all the players are going to win the league hands down. Obviously that they got all that wrong, but yeah, I think again with Liverpool, I think it'd be really good because obviously, again, I said multiple times, it's just a couple more, it's a little bit of tweaks, a little bit 1-2 play, a bit more pacey wingers, maybe actually get some reinforcements in defence, and maybe just one. He's doing a couple of signings. I know it's like when you spend that much money, but I think this season. Yeah, I think if he's ever going to get his system back to work, Slot has to be give him another season and see what happens. As much as we've all been calling for it, and I guess we're up and down. I guess when you're feeling really low, you can't help but get rid of the manager. But yeah, I agree with that statement. Basically, it's either going to be hilarious and seeing us slow down the table, or we're going to be back challenging. That would be. I will prefer the second one. Thank you very much.
Who's our manager of the season then? Who is the man that is going to be your manager of the season? For me,
I didn't actually think of manager of the season, to be honest.
I think
I've not chose one.
I'm not going to go Pep. I don't want to go Pep or Arteta. I want to go someone kind of.
I think what was it? We're talking.
Yeah,
I think we put it up. I think
a manager that I thought at the start of the season he is going to be sacked because his team are rubbish and he's stuck in the relegation zone. They are in a high chance to get Europe.
Yeah, it's a good show.
I think for me it's either between him or the Sunday manager.
Debris.
Yeah.
Again, because
I'd probably go with him, to be honest.
I got that right.
Yeah.
So it's not difficult. That's an easy one.
Again,
just say what you say.
We'll let him have that win. Let him have a little
bit. But I agree. I think I'd go with him as well. You could say if it was from January onwards, I think Carrick might be in with a shout. I think he must have won more points than any other. Unai Emery as well, yeah. Another top four finish, and they're in the semi-finals of the Europa League, is it? The quarterfinals?
Yeah.
Ironically, against Nottingham Forest, the full team, so that's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, that will be.
Areola?
Iraola, yeah, he could be one as well.
In the conversation,
we all know that whoever wins the league is going to be manager of the season
Yeah,
anyway.
but-
That's how
Yeah,
it
but
always works.
we've spoken about it before that it's annoying that is the case. They should choose someone who maybe did better with an unexpectedly good performance from a manager.
I think they should have more like categories maybe then, so we don't have that problem. Like I said, you can sit there and say like, or do like a fan, or do like a situation of like who like, because again, it is ridiculous the idea that basically like, yes, obviously Arsenal or City managers probably win it because whoever wins the league. But yeah, like,
more often than not,
those two should be, because again, the expectation going in and what they've done like should be closer than it should be. But it's the same as the argument we just had about Haaland. Like Haaland would probably get in that team of season. It shouldn't. I think it should be Thiago, but it's just sadly how.
But it
works
just
again.
Yeah.
I think that I totally agree. I think it is bad how it's done, but if Guardiola wins it, I personally would go Keith Andrews. For stability, I'd say Keith Andrews. If Arteta does it though,
I think Arteta should win it if he does it,
because they've been in top of the league for longer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That would be. Then I'd agree with it.
What's the consistency in it with Arsenal? If they go on and win it,
if City win it, it's only because Arsenal bottled it, basically. Like I know you still have to win your games and stuff.
True.
But
that is true. Yeah. What about Ange? Not joking though.
Who?
No, I mean.
Europa League winner, manager. Oh my god!
Blink and you miss it with him. Like literally, you can blink and he's gone already.
Exactly. So out of the players we've picked, so this is our team of the season. I'll quickly go through each chose. Got David Raya, Jurrien Timber, Ghee and Gabriel in the middle, along with Nico O'Reilly. You've got Xhaka and Declan Rice is your holding two midfielders.
Yep.
I think that's actually quite a good shout now. To be fair,
it is, yeah.
About it, I love that. It is, yeah. All right.
Certainly is, mate.
And then we've got Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes, and Brian Cherki as your.
No, how was?
Oh no! What?
Harry Wilson, mate. He tried to slip it in, didn't he?
Harry Wilson.
I saw it with the face. He was trying to sneak it in. Nice try, man. Nice try.
Harry Wilson. Yeah, I will concede Harry Wilson. And then the striker as Igor Thiago. Who is your player of the season? Because obviously one of these has to be, because you can't choose all these and go, it's someone else.
If we say the league ended now,
be confident. Be confident.
I'd say either. Probably Rice or Bruno.
I would go with Semenyo or David Raya.
Yeah, David Raya. I kind of just can't give it to a keeper though, can you? But he's been so good.
But this year he's
been so good. Yeah.
I think just.
Sorry, I'm gonna go Bruno. I'm gonna say Bruno.
Hang on.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
But again, what's probably going to happen is it's like it should be like you'll pick Bruno, but we all know it's probably going to be Rice. But
it's likely going to be Rice. Yeah. If Arsenal win the league, it's Rice.
There's no argument here as to this bit. You can choose who you think.
If Arsenal win the league, it's Rice 100%. If City win the league, it's probably going to be Silva or something like that. Bernardo Silva or Semenyo. Yeah, but no, I'm going Bruno. Why not?
Okay.
Break the assist record.
You reckon?
I mean, as much as again, it's I just think because of which won't be the pick, but I just think he should get it should be the better season. It's obviously Thiago. I think he just with how important he's been for that Brentford side.
He has been very good, hasn't he?
Apparently, he's had two very good chances to score against United as we speak. Apparently.
He's
scored.
You know what it is? He's hearing the praise they're giving for the podcast. He's like, well, I've
exactly.
Got to keep it going.
I gotta keep it up. Yeah.
No, I just think he should. I mean, I just think it's obviously the players we talked about is like Solskjaer, like been brilliant seasons, but I just think is again, I like that you go by how important they are for the team. I think that should be more important than sometimes it's just because of where they are positioning, like what they've done, like what he's made that team into a European chasing side by his goals alone is absolutely crazy. So Matt seems to have disappeared.
Matt's had enough. Matt didn't like that. He could only hold on for so long.
It's because it was that Bruno Fernandes comment. He's done him.
Yeah, and like he probably like I get it. Like I mean, look, he's not had. I think Fernandes would be in with a shout. He certainly won't win it. He's back again. He won't win it, but I just think I'm just purely biased. I'm just gonna say why not? He might do it. He might break the 20 assists in a season record. He might.
My apologies.
Well. Oh, there you go.
No, I realised at this precise moment in time that I am brilliant with technology, because I thought, we said about it earlier, has a goalkeeper ever won the Premier League Player of the Season, like a goalkeeper? And so I thought, we said obviously about Schmeichel and everything. I thought, I've just thought of someone, like, because this guy might win it. So I thought I'd look it up and realised I was searching on the tab that we're recording on. So then that's why I came out. But the player I thought of, David De Gea.
In 12-13?
No. I'm thinking like that little bit between, like a little bit after that. But I think I just had a look, but unfortunately not. I was wrong.
Czech's a good shout.
I was wrong. Czech was a good shout, but no goalkeeper has ever won it.
Oh right.
I mean,
okay.
did he have that top? I'm assuming. Obviously, I don't normally look at the list of players that are close to it. I guess not like the Ballon d'Or, but surely it'd be fascinating if it's got to be a couple of keepers that have come close. But I guess that's the problem with awards like that. It's just like it's always going to go for the attacker because they do all the more flashy stuff. So
yeah, Czech probably would have been in the closer check, because doesn't he still hold the record for most clean sheets in a season, or is that?
I believe so, or it might be.
Or I think it's all time, isn't it? I think he's all time, maybe.
Oh yeah, all time. Yeah, he's got the most. Yeah. Anyway, we'll bring that to an end then. I think. Thanks to everyone for listening. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe and listen to our content. If we have missed anyone that we've not thought of, please let us know. There might be one or two. Harry Wilson was actually a very good shout. I will admit that was a very good shout. That was. But. I mean, obviously, we can be wrong as well. Like these two are here. They are wrong.
Unbelievable.
No.
But yeah. Anyway, take care, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Still out. Bye.
Bye.